sun out here. But with that, I'll just open it up. I'm ready for your questions.
Steve, with so many injuries out there,
Yeah.
just how are you trying to rotate everybody, mix and match? Just, you know, you do have a preseason game coming
Yeah,
up.
I mean, the silver lining is we got guys that would normally get all these reps, but I'm like you guys. I'm in the middle of practice looking at this tent, you know, where we got all those white jerseys in there working out with no equipment on. But it's something we got to fight through. We'd like to start to get some of these guys back. I mean, Jalen got out there today. I think Nazi got some reps, which is good. But you know, we got some other guys in there now.
Drew Tranquil kind of coming out of his shell a little bit, physicality and intensity-wise in year 2 now.
Yeah, he's been terrific. He kind of elevates all of the competition, I think, on both sides of the ball. He loves football. He loves being out there. I mean, I saw glimpses of it last year, but when you're new, it's your first year, you know, you're trying to feel your way through. But he's been great. I think the guys will tell you that they feed off of him.
Valle from Fox Sports Mexico. You have a lot of fans in Mexico, the Chiefs Scout, a lot of fans. So my question is, last year you was the defense number 2 in the NFL, and for this season you lost Snead. He's a very important guy, or was a very important guy. In which point you are working to be stronger, your defense last year?
Yeah, well, I wish we could take all those stats from last year and use them for this year, but they really don't mean anything now. I mean, every year is different. We're starting from scratch again, from you know, the bottom rung and work our way up. I mean, we'd like to. I mean, we've challenged each other. I'm talking about defensively, to be as good, if not better, than last year. But we're going to have to take it one game at a time, and we know this first one's going to be a pretty difficult one. Yeah.
Steve, are there young guys you're particularly eager to see on Saturday night?
Saturday's game, yeah. Back end always, Adam, because you know, we want to see what we got going on there. We've had some injuries, and then the continuity and the chemistry of those young guys who will communicate in the heat of battle. You know, sometimes when it's controlled here, but you're kind of getting into a real game atmosphere. Biggest thing is I want to see guys that are unknown to me from their toughness and tackling. Those would be the 2 big things.
When you say guys at the back end, young guys,
yeah.
About Hicks number 1?
Yeah, Jay, no, all of them really. Jay Kamal, you know, even guys that I mean, Echo didn't play a lot back there last year, right? Guys that haven't had a lot of time back there, I'd like to see those guys, and you know, all the young guys, obviously. I mean, I told them in the meeting, you know, the guys that I've been around that are here, I know which guys are tough and which guys are fake tough. I mean, I'm trying to find out if guys are tough enough to play in this league and do the things we need to do.
Steve, you've got a couple of undrafted linebackers with Curtis Jacobs and Swazi Bozeman, both of them look like they've been, you know, having good moments. What have you kind of learned about them so far?
Yeah, Swayze's a real. I tell you, if you saw her when the guys aren't here, Swayze like hangs on to Jack Cochran, like, you know. I mean, he's right in his hip pocket all the time, and that's a good move by Swayze, because Jack is real smart. Swayze's really kind of taking on that same thing. He's been physical out here. I'm anxious to see what he does. And Curtis, you know, has played the one position and kind of feeling his way through. Had a couple things he needed to work on today that I happened to notice. But really anxious to see what both those guys do.
What have you learned from the defensive line now that you put on some pads? I know you're not hitting, but
yeah.
Now that you put the pads on, what have you learned?
Well, we got a physical group. The hard thing is we don't really know where we're at against the run. We don't see a lot of runs. We're not tackling live, so we'd like to see that. But the block destruction and how the linebackers function off of our D linemen is always really important. But the one thing about the guys, the group that we have in the D line right now, all of them have been in most of them that we're going to rely on have been in the system for a while. So, you know, this part of we're ahead of the game there.
At what point do you start to worry with Justin Reed about how much time he's missed versus preparedness for the season?
Well, I think he'd tell you that he'd like to be out here. I mean, he really would. It's just one of those, I don't know, it's one of those things that what you don't want to do is come back early and then set it back. So I think Rick and him are being cautious of that. But, you know, Justin's been around long enough that I think he'll know when that time is, and we need him in there.
You guys are running. You guys are running Shamari everywhere. You know, we don't know the assignments. How is he doing in terms of what?
He's doing good. You know, it was a little rusty and shaky early, but you know, he's Trent and B. Cook and Drew and Nick. They all kind of rally around him. We think he's got some talent, can do some things for us, but we have put him in positions that are a little foreign to him, and we're just going to see where we're at. We need to get out and play some other people, see what happens.
Steve, earlier you said the competition for the second quarterback spot was wide open. Now that you're the exhibition. What characteristics are you hoping sort of shine for that player to sort of grab that spot?
Yeah, you know, the mental part of it's going to be first. And then you need that guy to be as productive as whoever we put out there corner-wise. But you know, we're trying to find those guys that know what they're doing and can make plays doing it. And we got some guys that can work there. We just got to find out which one surfaces to become that too. Okay? Yeah. Good.
Out here, you know, football after everything that happened off season, to just focus on ball right now?
It's very important just because I get to be out here and still be a part of my team, and you know we get to dominate and focus on our goal this year.
Shane, have you had any conversations with the league at all about potential suspension? I mean, have they interviewed you about the situation?
Well, honestly, it's still a legal process, and my team is handling that.
I know this is preseason, of course, and the preseason no yet for you guys, but how do you feel the chemistry with Patrick Mahomes right now? Because you made 7 touchdowns last year.
I mean, I feel like our chemistry is going to continue to grow. I feel like it's been growing throughout the offseason, and as well as, you know, during this camp right now. And all we're looking forward to is to continue to grow and just get better, you know, whether it's preseason or regular season or even playoffs.
What do you think about that wide receiver room? I'm looking at you guys stretching. You all look alike. You're all super fast. What kind of group is that?
I mean, we're electric. We're just looking forward to putting on the show. We're ready to go out there and have fun with each other.
What's been the message, you know, some of the off-the-field stuff aside, what's been the message for Andy Reid for you, you know, as you kind of came back into the mix and got ready for this camp?
Honestly, you know, focusing on the main thing right now. The main thing for me is being able to be the best person I can be for my team so we can all, you know, come together and dominate.
I know it's not settled yet, Rasheed, but do you have any indication if you're going to be okay to start the season with the rest of the guys, or do you expect the suspension to still be a possibility for the start of the year?
Like I said, it's a legal process, and my team's handling it off the field for me.
Rasheed, what's the next step for you as a football player out here? So the vertical game has been an emphasis point. Maybe that's it. I'm just curious, the next step for you in your mind.
Honestly, the next step for me is to bring the guys around me up. You know, we got X here, so whatever I learned last year, he needs to learn right now so that we can continue to grow together.
Just with having deep threats on the field, do you notice more open space in a lot of the routes that you're typically running?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, those guys are taking the top off for me every time, whether it's me running under route or if I have to take the top off for them. I know they're doing it for me, so it's so much fun to do it for them.
What lessons have you learned from everything that happened, and then now being with the guys, your brothers on the field? You know, how are you continuing to evolve just as a human being to make sure you're the best person?
Just continue to surround myself with people that I want to be like, and just continue to surround myself with people that are going to allow me to grow.
What do you feel like you need to prove coming in here to your teammates, your coaches, even fans? What do you feel like you need to prove to them during camp and going into the season too? Things come with growth, and I'm gonna continue to grow.
Do you like the opportunity to run more deeper, maybe more complex routes in year 2 after obviously having the success last year as a rookie?
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, it's a lot more fun just because, I mean, if we running deep, if Pat's having fun, we're having fun.
You say you want to grow. Can you elaborate on that, what you mean by that?
Yeah, growing on the field and continue to surround myself around the people that's going to allow me to grow, to become a better person on and off the field.
Who's the fastest guy in the room?
We got football speed, we got real speed, but we all got speed.
How supportive has Patrick been, maybe through some of those, both off the field and then on the field as you're growing as well?
He's been very important. He's there for me, whenever I need him on or off the field. He's only a call away, and he's always going to pick up my call, so I got him.
Okay, guys. Thanks for seeing.
Cool. Appreciate you.
What are you trying to improve upon most? I know pass protection is something that you're trying to work on. Is that, along with pass protection, what else are you just trying to grow in the game?
Like you said, pass protection, that's been my biggest emphasis this camp. So I've just been trying to work on that, you know, my hands and growth and just, you know, taking things from Pacheco. You know, he's been a great leader, so just been following him.
Wise, what did you do in that process to maybe build some strength to help in that?
Definitely more weight training. I used a lot of work to get ready for pass protection because I knew that was going to be a big emphasis in this camp. Came in about the same weight, about 215, you know, and try to maintain that.
How does this camp feel different than it did last year for you, just from a speed standpoint, experience standpoint, all of it?
I feel like now I got more understanding, so I'm getting more comfortable in the offense and just steady growing.
You said Isaiah's been helpful. How much has he been helpful for you just with film sessions, on practice, on the field? What is he telling you that's making you get better?
You know, day in and day out, he telling me, you know, pass protection is key, pad level, you know, and it's a mentality thing, you know. Running backs, we set the tone, so we've just been working on that.
For a lot of people, the Chiefs are the favorite for win the Super Bowl again. Do you feel pressure? That's a motivation for you guys. So how do you feel about that?
I don't feel there's really no pressure. You know, I feel like we're taking it one day at a time, you know, and that's going to get us there by taking it one day at a time.
Eric, what do you think you need to show in preseason games and out here in camp to make the team?
Pass protection, my pad level, my effort, accountability.
Carson and Amani are kind of in a similar position as you were last year. I'm just curious how you've been able to mentor them.
Oh yeah, both of them guys, they've been doing great in this camp, you know. I've been just trying to teach them the plays, you know, continue to tell them to stay locked in.
Derek, you were with the team when they won a Super Bowl last year. What was it like to be on the team but not be playing?
You know, it was a great experience, you know, first time winning Super Bowl, year one. It was, to be honest, it was just a blessing.
Do a couple more here. You've been getting a lot of opportunities at the return position as a kickoff returner. What are your kind of impressions of the new rule? Do you like it? Is it something that you think fits you? You know, Dave Cook said that he thinks a running back might be best suited to being a returner in these new rules.
Yeah, I feel like it is good for a running back because you see a hole, you hit it, you know.